It's nice to see you again. Are you having a good day?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a book today. But first we're going to go through some vocabulary cards. And then when we go through the book, I'm going to have you fill out this flip book. Do you know why we use vocabulary cards?
No.
Vocabulary cards help make it easier to read books because you already know what the words mean, some of the hard words, and you know where they go in a sentence, and you might even know how to spell them. And then we're going to use the flip book to help categorize what you're learning. Have you used either of those before?
No.
They're pretty easy. I'll show you as we go along. So we're going to be learning about the parts of a flowering plant, and we're going to figure out what happens to seeds after they fall off a flower or travel. Do you already know a little bit about that?
Yes, when they fall off, they go into the ground and make another plant.
Do you know what that's called? I'm going to teach you. It's a big fancy word.
I forgot the word.
That's okay. So all you're going to need to hold on to is your pencil, and then I have colored pencils if you want for the flip book. I'm going to go through the vocabulary cards. I have a flip book for you. And then before we go over the end, so at the end, I want this to be all filled out. You can look through it really quick. See all the blank spots? So at the end, I want it to be all filled out, and I want you to be able to explain to me what's happening. Okay? So we're going to do vocab cards. Then we're going to read the book. As I'm reading the book, you can fill out the charts. Then we're going to do a
seed. This is a seed.
What about that one?
A seed.
That's not a seed then.
Uh-huh.
You'll see. It'll turn out really cool.
That's a seed growing.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what that's called?
No.
Okay.
How does this show a life cycle?
That one's a structure. Ah, you see? So, you can tell me what that is, right, though?
A flower.
It's a plant, yeah. Do you know some of the parts of a plant already?
Stem.
The stem.
Leaf.
Leaves.
Flower.
The flower.
Roots.
Roots. I think that you got all of them.
And seeds.
This should be good for you, then.
Seeds.
Seeds, too. That's a good idea.
Although seeds are the seeds turned into the roots.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So now I'm going to go through these words. You should know most of them, right? Alrighty. So a stem. A stem is like the main body part of a plant. It's what holds it up. So use it in a sentence. A stem.
A stem is a body part of a plant, like a bone.
Awesome. High five. This one says leaves. Do you know what leaves do?
Leaves take in sunlight and push out oxygen through the plant.
They also are the main part of the plant that makes its food. So you could say, look at those green leaves.
I did not know that. I knew that they made food, which was sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is that big fancy word.
Germination.
That's that big fancy word I was telling you about. So that's the sprouting of a new plant from a seed. So that germination only happens when the seed has the right conditions. This one is seedling. Do you know what a seedling is?
A seedling is when a seed falls from the flower.
It's a young plant. So it's when the plant has already started to grow, but it's really tiny. This is an easy one.
Soil is a substance of dirt that keeps the plant alive.
Do you know which layer it is in the dirt?
The middle.
It's actually the top layer because it's nice and soft for baby plants. Bud, not like a buddy.
Flower bud?
A flower bud, it's a compact little part. It can turn into a flower or a leaf. You don't know what it is yet, but it's really small.
A flower bud is a petal on a flower.
A flower bud turns into a flower.
Oh.
It's not the petal yet. Do you know what that is?
Pollen?
Pollen.
Pollen is what bees use to make honey, and they also spread it to other plants so they can produce more pollen.
Exactly. That's the little fine powdery substance, and sometimes it makes you sneeze. Are you allergic to pollen?
No.
I'm not either, but my sister is.
I have eaten pollen out of a hibiscus
What? On purpose or on accident?
on purpose.
Oh my. This is pollination.
I have no idea what that is.
This is what bees do.
Oh, that's
just
what I
means
just said an
moving.
example of.
Yeah, so it's just moving pollen from one flower to a different flower. People can do that too on accident, and the wind does it. Right?
Yes.
That's an easy one.
Seeds.
A seed.
Seeds are a small parasite-like orb that goes into ground and produces roots.
Yep, so what I wrote is that it's the flowering plant's unit of reproduction. It's how plants make new plants. And this is the last one. It's the root.
Roots are the thing that makes plants hold into the ground and so they don't fall out.
Yep, so I put the root attaches the plant to the ground and it helps the plant get water and nutrients from the soil, right? It's like a foot mouth.
That is not exciting.
Okay, so you ready for the next step? Okay, I'm gonna go through and read this book. As I read it, you can fill out the blanks. Do you want me to read through those first, or you got that?
I have this.
I think so. As soon as I finish reading this, I'm gonna give you a minute to finish this, and then we're gonna do something with this piece of paper, okay? Got it? Are you ready? This is called Seed to Plant. So the first page, what is a plant? A plant is a living thing. It stays in one place, but it grows and changes just like you. Plants can be big or small. Some have flowers. Others also grow fruit. Trees are plants too. Plants are a big part of our world. Farmers grow fruits and vegetables. These plants give us food. Some plants can be used to make clothing. Your t-shirt is made from cotton plants. Other plants are cozy homes for animals. You can use your body to remember the parts of a plant. Roots hold the plant in the ground. The stem helps the plant stand up tall, supports the plant. And leaves soak up the sunlight to make the food. So this one shows how arms are like leaves. They stick out from your body. Your body's like a stem because that's what holds you up. And then your feet are like roots. So you might want to be on this page right now because this is the structures. But now we're going to go back to life cycle. How does a plant begin? Let's dig in. Most plants start as a seed. The seed splits open and a shoot pushes out. This is called germination. A new plant is beginning. You got that one? It's a long one. A seedling starts to grow. Roots push down into the soil. A stem pushes up into the air. So then it's going to show you a buzzword, germination, the sprouting of a new plant from a seed, and seedling, a young plant. And you can already see the body parts of a plant. I guess it wouldn't be body parts, it'd be plant parts. A plant grows. Just like you, a plant grows bigger and bigger. The roots spread out and down into the soil. The stem gets thicker and stronger. More leaves and branches grow. What do plants need? Plants need water and some food to come from the soil, and then the roots soak them up. Sunlight and air enter through the leaves. Plants use them to make more food. Plants also need space to grow. These are fun plant facts. I bet you don't know all of these. Maybe some. So the first one, this palm tree seed can weigh as much as a 4th grader. It's the heaviest seed in the world. Scrub-a-dub in the tub. Plants are used in many soaps and shampoos. And the paper from this book was made from trees. One sunflower can make as many as 1,000 seeds. Bamboo grows the fastest of any plant. It can grow as tall as a 3-year-old kid in one day. I didn't know it grew that fast.
The tallest living tree is taller than the Statue of Liberty in New York City, USA.
What's the tallest tree you've ever seen? Do you think it was that tall?
No, the tallest tree is the baobab. That's in Central Park.
Oh. Flowers bloom. Many plants grow flowers. They start as a bump called a bud. The bud slowly opens.
I'm instruction.
Petals gently unfold. Surprise, it's a flower. So that's what that bud I was telling you about.
Oh, that's what a dragon fruit is before it comes a fruit.
Yeah, most fruits start as flowers, actually. Did you know that? Like an orange blossom?
Cantaloupe.
Mm-hmm. Sticky pollen. Flowers make a sticky powder called pollen. Pollen sticks to birds and bees when they fly from flower to flower. Then the pollen rubs off on another flower. This is called pollination. It helps flowers make seeds. Seeds. Plants keep seeds in different places. Many plants grow a case around the seeds. The case is called a pod. Peas and maple tree seeds grow in pods. Orange seeds are different. Their seeds are on the inside, but strawberry seeds are on the outside. Now the seeds take a trip. Some float on the wind, others are carried away by animals. The seeds fall on the ground. Soon they sprout or germinate, and a new plant begins. Pass the plants, please. People and animals eat plants to stay healthy. How many plants did you eat today? Did you have any plants with breakfast? Fruit?
Well, I had iron.
What did you have?
Cereal. Everything contains iron.
And then it shows you how to grow your own garden. Did you already do this with your class?
My mom has made giant gardens.
Well, the 5th graders did this in their classes, so I didn't know if you did it in yours. They grew little bean plants. You don't think so?
We have done that,
Oh, okay.
but in a bag.
Then it says, what in the world? These pictures show up-close views of things in the book. Use the hints below to figure out what's on the picture. And then it'll tell you the answers. So,
A flower, bud, a leaf, sunflower, water.
this falls and waters the plant, so it's what's falling.
Oh, rain.
Rain, there you go.
Strawberry and bee.
Yeah, I don't like bees.
I got stung on one with the nose.
You got stung on the nose? So then we have
Germination,
pollination.
seedling, soil.
Awesome. Okay, so we finished our book. Before we go back over this, I want to use this piece of paper and I want you to do something called a 3-2-1. Have you ever done that?
Never.
So it's 3 things you learned, 2 things you thought were interesting. So they could be fun facts or just things you thought were weird, like that crazy big seed. And then 1 thing you might still have a question about. Can you do that for me?
I don't really have anything I learned.
You didn't learn anything? What about from Miss Newstead?
No, I didn't really learn that much from this book.
Oh, well, I know you learned at least 1 thing. We learned about...
I did not. I knew that from class.
Well, I asked you what it was. You couldn't tell me what it was.
That's because it's a surprisingly long word, and I have bad memory with surprisingly
So I
long
helped you
words.
relearn it this morning.
Or help me remember.
And you learned a bud. And you learned pollination. You knew how pollination worked, but you didn't know what it was called, right? So there's 3 things right there.
Well, I was on the right track with bud.
Yes.
Well, I knew what a flower bud is, but I just
You didn't have that connection yet.
Well, I knew what it was until I forgot for
Mhm.
4 years.
Sometimes we forget.
Things do.
You can write them down here. You don't have to write them up there. You'll probably run out of room. Or you could write about any of these fun facts. You probably knew some of them, but I don't think you knew all of them.
I didn't know this one. This one. This one is the weirdest one.
The weirdest. Do you think it's interesting?
Every spring it's like that.
It looks like that. I don't know if there's plants in that. You'd have to look when you get home.
You can't see the plants.
You can't see the plants, but the box has ingredients.
Interesting.
And do you have any questions? I can't promise I can answer it, but I can try.
How can a plant be taller than the Statue of Liberty?
Well, there's these really tall trees. They're in California. They're called redwood trees. Have you heard of them?
No.
They're huge. Like.
Well, I know about them, but they have redwood.
Mm-hmm. And they get really big. They have some that cars can drive through. They've turned them into tunnels because they're so big they can't cut them down. So trees can get very big because they can be very old.
Like baobabs.
Awesome. Okay, now I want you to walk me through your flip book. So we'll start on the first page.
Plants. What is a plant? What does it need to grow? A plant is a living thing. It needs water, nutrients, and space
To grow.
to grow.
So those are the characteristics of a plant. That's what all plants are like. Okay, so now we're going to go through the life cycle. Step 1,
Seed.
seeds. Then what happens?
Germination.
Germination. And what is germination?
When a seed grows a small root.
Yeah, when a seed starts to sprout. Then it turns
Seedling.
into a,
Seedling.
which is a
Baby plant.
baby plant. And then,
A flower.
and what is this when the pollen goes from one flower to another?
Pollination.
Pollination, and that's how they get new seeds. That was awesome. Alrighty, and structure. So I want you to tell me what the structure is and what it does. So this one, pollen. I actually had this as seeds, like the sunflower seeds.
I couldn't tell the
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. Do you know what a seed does, though?
Yes. When the plant is old, when the plant dies, they fall off and
The plant doesn't have to die. Did you know that?
they just fall off.
Yeah, they can fall off. Animals can take them. People can accidentally take them.
Squirrels can take them,
Mm-hmm.
which I have pine cone that still has seeds.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. And this one I actually had as the
Petal.
whole flower.
Petal.
That is a petal, you're right. But I wanted it to be the whole flower. What does the whole flower do? What's the point of a flower?
To absorb sunlight,
And grow.
seeds.
Grow seeds. Alrighty, next one.
Leaves absorb sunlight
Mm-hmm.
and produce food
Awesome.
and push out oxygen. Stems hold the plant in place so it doesn't fall off.
Yep. It's a nice support system.
Roots keep the plant in ground so the plant has a stable structure and it doesn't fly out of the ground.
Sometimes they do, though, like during the hurricanes, right? Have you seen the big roots?
I have seen the baobab that's in Edison and Fort Winter States.
Oh, is it a big one?
Very big.
And it came out of the ground?
No.
No.
It's still in there.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's never gonna fall out, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, now I'm
Unless
gonna
there's a category 5.
I'm gonna go super fast through the words, and I want you to tell me what they are, okay?
Pollination. When an animal gets to the flower, it gets pollen from it and takes it out to another plant.
Exactly.
Seed. Seeds are the substance that goes into the ground and grows another plant.
Yep, it's the unit of reproduction.
Pollen. Pollen is a small thing that bees use or hummingbirds use to create food.
Yep, so it's like a fine powdery substance, and when it goes from one plant to another, that's how they make seeds.
Soil. Soil is the top layer of dirt, and it reproduces the seeds so they can grow.
It helps the seeds grow because it has all the water and nutrients in it.
Seedlings are the small plant that starts growing out of a seed.
Yep, it's a young plant.
Roots hold the plant in place so they don't fall out of the ground.
And they help the plant get
Nutrients.
yes.
Stems hold the plant in place so they can't get chopped down easily.
They're the main support system. It's what holds the leaves up in the flowers.
Leaves absorb sunlight and produce oxygen and food.
Perfect.
Flower buds are the small flowers that will soon grow into fruit or a giant flower.
Yes.
Germination is when a seed starts growing one root.
Yes, it starts to grow. It sprouts. Okay, so what we're going to do next is this is an AR book. So we're going to go get your Chromebook and you're going to take the AR test for it, okay? Sounds good.